Hey guys, Joe with BitRaged here. We've been in a market correction recently, and we've started to see a reversal from that in the last day or so. But one of the questions I've seen asked a lot during this and even before it is, how can I tell when the price gets to a bottom? How can I tell when a bottom is forming and the price is going to reverse and go back up? So I wanted to go through some simple ways that you can see on a chart where the price is going to be, where it's headed. One of the most overlooked things that people don't look at is volume. They think you need some fancy indicators and some special technical analysis, and it's just not the case. Indicators can help you a lot, but one of the most important ones is volume. So let's take a look at this chart. We see a drop to here. This is a pretty normal drop for this chart. This here is not as normal. This is a little more extreme. So why did this happen here? Well, it's simply because of this. These are a bunch of sell orders that came in and caused this drop here. And when you see this kind of volume that is this much higher than the last day or so or the last few days in volume, you know that the price is going to move in one of two directions, either up or down. And if it's red, they are sell orders and the price is going to go down. If it's green, these are buy orders and the price is going to go up. It's pretty simple. So I want to walk you through what I look for on a chart that I'm going to trade. So the important thing you want to look for is support levels. So what is a support level? A support level is simply a place in the chart where you find some support. Pretty simple, right? So the price dropped from here. This is called resistance. And then it dropped down to this support level, in which it rebounded, went back up to here. Then the price dropped down to this low, and it found a new support level. Went up, found a new support level here, and then you see it went down again. And the important thing to realize is when the price crossed this support level here, you see a massive spike in sell orders, a massive panic happen. Whenever a price drops below a previous support level, you can expect the price to drop. By how much? Well, you have to read the chart. You have to see the history of the chart. If you're in a correction like this, it's a little harder to tell by how much. In normal conditions, you can kind of gauge how much that will drop. But when a price drops below a support level, it's going to continue to drop. So keep that in mind. This here dropped to a new low, went up here, found a new support level, and then started to drop back down. And you see here an argument. It dropped below this support level and formed a new one here. Okay? And you see a big argument. This argument resulted in a small uptrend, and then it dropped down to here. And it formed a new low, a new support level. Went back up, formed a similar one, and if you look at this, you see kind of an M pattern. You see this here as well. So it went back down, formed a new support level here. And again, you see a lot of sells, and here is a big panic. So it drops down to here, and then as soon as it goes below this support level here, massive panic. So why is that? Because whenever a price reaches a new low on the chart, people freak out and they panic and they start selling out. A lot of traders are motivated by emotion. And you see that a lot on cryptocurrency charts because they're new traders, they don't really understand what they're doing, and so when they see a price drop, they start to freak out and you start to see this kind of a pattern. So it drops down, it forms a new support level way down here, followed by this spike up and this spike in buy orders. it forms a new support level here, and then goes up and forms a smaller support level here, a major support level here, which then prompts the price to go up, and forms another support level here. And this is where we're at right now. So what can you learn from these support levels? Well, there's a couple things. When the price drops below a previous low, when the price drops below a previous support level, it's going to keep dropping. By how much? Again, you've got to read the chart. You've got to look back here and say, well, this has dropped so much and this has dropped so much in the past couple months. And this is the pattern of the chart. So I can tell that this is going to drop this much and then go back up. And again, read the volume. If you see a big spike in buy orders, like here, you know that the price is starting to change direction. There's a big argument here, and the price is likely going to change direction pretty shortly. So you can read this and you can learn a lot just from volume and drawing support levels. So let's try and find the bottom here. How can we tell where the bottom would be? So let's draw a line from the top all the way to the bottom, which is right about here. And I'll add one here on the top as well. And we'll look for what is called a double bottom pattern. If you don't know what a double bottom pattern is, it's simply a time when the price drops to a certain point, rebounds, and then comes back to a similar point. And that's when a double bottom chart pattern is established. And you can draw your confirmation line or your neckline, which would give you an idea of when the price breaks that, where it's going to be headed. In this case, a double bottom would indicate a price recovery from this chart pattern. Alright, so let's see if we can find it on this chart here. So we can see a spike here, which then goes down, comes back up, and then plummets again to roughly the same position. It drops below this level of support, which would indicate a further drop, but you can see a pattern here. It establishes an M, okay? And then we look down here and we can see a very similar pattern right here. Right, so you notice the pattern. You see it trying to form a base here. Doesn't happen. It drops below this support level and then starts to drop even further. It establishes a new support level, a new low, drops back down again, this M pattern. It goes below this support level, which again would indicate a drop and a further drop, but we can see here that a base is trying to form. So then when we see this drop here, we can say, okay, it's starting to form a base. So we look at this drop here and then we start to see quite a big spike in buy orders. That's a good indication that we may be here at the bottom. Now keep in mind, if we were looking at the stock market, in the stock market a bottom can form over a long period of time and then be established for a couple years. In cryptocurrency, things move a little quicker than that generally, so we don't have as much time to decide and form a bottom. It kind of forms at one and then spikes back up rather quickly. That doesn't necessarily happen in some of the more established markets such as the stock market. So keep that in mind, but we're just looking for trends. See where we can glean some information from this chart. So let's draw our neckline or our confirmation line. So we could do two of them. We could draw one up here and say, well, this is one because this tried to form. And again, this is not a perfect double bottom chart pattern. I'm not saying that, but it does give you some indication of where the price might be headed. So So we can draw another neckline, another confirmation line here, right about here. Let's draw that all the way out to here. What this tells you is whenever the price breaks out and comes above this confirmation line here, we're starting to see a reversal. We're starting to see a recovery, and this bottom has held. So if the price went up to here, and went past this line here, well, that's even stronger. And that tells you even further that this bottom is held, these support levels are holding, and the price is recovering. So that's how you can tell when a bottom is starting to form and support levels are starting to stabilize and level out, and the price is starting to go the other way. And again, this isn't a perfect double bottom chart pattern, but what I'm telling you is this gives you an indication of where the price is headed. It's not a perfect world, so these don't form perfectly and we don't always get a textbook pattern, but it gives you an indication, and we can see by these lines that we've drawn, our necklines, our confirmation lines, that the price is on the rebound. It's recovering now. It's going to start to head back up to where it was. So this is a Ethereum chart, and I want to show you why we tell you that the Ethereum chart is probably the strongest chart that you can trade. It's the most reliable. Here's why. You look at these drops here. It's very predictable, right? When the big panic was going on, this chart here saw a lot less panic than some of the other charts. So it's pretty strong. So let's draw our support levels. So we see one here, and one forming here. We see one form here, and then one form here. Okay? And again, we can look at this and we can see a pattern here. So you would notice a pattern right here. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, it's trying to form a bottom. It's trying to form a level of support that it can rebound from. And you see here it's kind of up and down, kind of in a flat line. And that just tells you that there is a lot of people that are supporting Ethereum, and there are a lot of people that are selling it. So it's a pretty strong pattern though. So if we draw a line here from the top, we can kind of visualize this a little better. Down to here. Okay. And again, it's starting to form a bottom. It's trying to form a bottom anyways. And so we can draw here, we could draw a neckline. And again, this isn't perfect, and it's not meant to be the end-all be-all analysis of this chart. I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas on what you can look for. So we see the neckline here. The price hasn't yet rebounded to pass these highs. This support level has seemed to hold, and we're starting to see more of a flat line and a stronger support. So this is why we tell you that the Ethereum chart is such a strong chart to trade. Even with this massive spike in volume, it held together pretty well. It went through a little bit of an argument here and then dropped down considerably from where it was, but not as much as some of the other charts, and it rebounded from that and came back. So you can read a lot from just looking at the support levels and drawing these lines. Looking at your confirmation line, you can kind of tell where this price is headed. Once it crosses this high here, the chances of it breaking out and going even higher is a lot more likely. So again, here's another example. This is Bitcoin Cash. Again, we're just drawing some support levels here, which would be right here, 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 and here. and we're starting to see a double bottom pattern start to form. Again, this isn't perfect, but it does give you an indication. And from this support level here, the price went up, and we're starting to see some support along this line. Once it crosses this previous high here, you're going to see the price start to break out and go even further. So I want to close with the Litecoin chart and kind of show you another way that you can tell. We see on this chart a drop from roughly here down to here. So you look at that and you say, wow, that's a pretty big drop. But then you look at this indicator here, and it's called Unbalanced Volume. And essentially what it tells you is it shows you where the volume's at. So we see a price that is in a bear trend that is dropping. But we look at this volume indicator and we see a bullish divergence on this volume indicator. So we see a drop in the price, but the divergence is bullish. So what does that tell us? That tells us that while the price is dropping, there is an argument forming. There is volume building, and the price is likely to stop dropping and start entering a bull trend, start going up. That's what it tells you, and that's exactly what happened. See, we see the drop went to here, and then we entered this bull trend, which is prompted by this spike in volume here, these buy orders, and it went way up. It went way up, and then it tested this support level here. So that's another way you can tell. You can look at this indicator here, and when you see a bullish divergence on the volume indicator and the price is dropping, that tells you that volume is building and this price is going to start to move the other direction. We're going to start to see a reversal and a recovery. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you some of the things that I look for when I'm trading some of these pairs, and show you what you can look at and how you can tell when the price is going to go down or if it's going to go up, how you can tell when a bottom's forming, and kind of give you an idea of what to look for. I know a lot of you guys are new traders and you're just getting into this and you want to understand what you're looking at. So I hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. And if you'd like to see something different and more specific about charts or trading, leave a suggestion down below and we'd be happy to do that for you. We have some more videos planned on trading coming soon. That's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching. Take care.